Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Let's see, today's video is going to focus on, and it's going to be a shorter video. I don't want to keep you for the entire time, but it's going to focus on the 1-year update to the C6 Hydro Lite coating that's on the Equinox right now. So again, I've had it for a year on the paint, and based on the data that I have, we're going to go to final thoughts on whether or not I recommend using this coating and spending your hard-earned money on this, because it is $299.99, basically $300. You're actually going to invest more because you're going to want to get the adhesion promoter polish. I forget the cost off the top of my head, but you're going to be in over $300 just for the coating and the polish with this. So it is kind of costly, and we're going to take a look at that as well. And so at the same time, we're going to take a look at the 1-year update to the glass coating that I have, which is I applied half of it with amethyst here, and then from jade, and then the other half was the Atom graphene glass coating. So these are the two glass coatings I had. So we're going to do 1-year update on there. Both are doing really good too on there. So although we didn't have a real wet winter, so again, less usage of the wiper blades, the coating's going to last longer. Wiper blade abrasion is going to remove the coating faster than no wiper blade abrasion. So keep that in mind. So let's get to C6 Hydro Lite, and let's talk about C6 Hydro Lite. I want to touch on the prep that I did for the Equinox 1 year ago here. So I had used DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish with their yellow waffle pad, and I used the kind of like the makeshift pad washer. I almost couldn't remember the name of it, pad washer, with DIY Detail rinseless wash solution in there. And then I had used to clean the pads out in between panels there, and then I had used a damp towel with rinseless wash because I had taken whatever I made, I put it in a spray bottle, and I would just kind of got my towel damp, and I wiped off the initial residue, came back with a secondary towel to remove that, and then I came back with C6 adhesion promoter polish, C6 app, went around the entire vehicle, and then I applied a single layer of C6 Hydro Lite. So let's talk about the issues I've had with C6 Hydro Lite. Actually, let's talk about the good things about C6 Hydro Lite. So initially, C6 Hydro Lite is one of the most hydrophobic coatings on the market. Real good gloss. And this 30 ml bottle, you can actually get 2 applications out of it. This is still the original bottle. I can still feel that there's half of it still in here. I never used the other half. So basically, if we break it down from a cost perspective, even though it's $300 up front, it cost me $150 to really use this. I lost $150 because I didn't use the remaining of it. So again, real nice hydrophobics, real nice slickness on there. Again, one of the most hydrophobic coatings on there. Real good slickness. Ease of use is there. Again, very user-friendly coating. Again, based on the data that I have, and we're going to go talk about the final details, is it really worth the $300 that you're going to pay up front? Again, you're going to pay more because you're going to get yourself, they recommend to use the C6 app polish alongside with that, which again, it's going to cost you more than $300 just for the coating and the polish. And then again, if you already have their gold standard polish, you can use that, or you can use technically any polish you want. So there's that. So now let's talk about the problems I've had with C6 Hydro Lite. And so let's go ahead and because you guys already know the prep I did for it. And so I know people are going to say, well, you didn't prep it right. I used all DIY Detail products. I don't know what to tell you. So at the 6-month mark, I noticed that on the rear deck with the rear spoiler on the top there of the Equinox, the coating had completely lost its hydrophobic. So the hydrophobic is completely gone. Basically, when the hydrophobics are gone, we try to state that the coatings failed. But it looked like there was nothing on the surface. I tried to do the Decon with water spot remover. Didn't do anything. Iron remover, didn't do anything. So whatever was there, completely gone, failed there. Somebody did chime in that video. Actually, I think it was Dallas Paint Corrections, believe it or not. He's the one that stated that piece was actually sent, and they were assembling the vehicle, sent to another place, and that part was painted separately than the rest of the car. So he's saying that it has different paint, different clear coat. Honestly, I can't say that that's the primary factor of the coating not performing well on that specific area. I can't say that. Is it a variable? Possibly. Weird things tend to happen, and you just can't explain certain things. At the same time, I had applied Expel PPF, like I bought the kit, and it sucks because I can't get that kit anymore. I had put the PPF kit on the B pillars and on the rear, what are those, C pillars, I think. I put PPF on there, Expel PPF, and the coating didn't do well on that. Again, the prep for that, C6 app, C6 Hydro Lite. Pretty straightforward because there was nothing on there. Now, could the hydrophobic properties on, interesting, somebody's racing their bike on the freeway. Could the C6, the hydrophobic layer of the Expel PPF rejected C6 Hydro Lite? Possibly. Could the PPF just been too porous that it needed to absorb more than what I applied? Possibly. Again, strange things happen, kind of hard to explain. Water spot remover didn't help with that either. And when I mean water spot remover, we're talking DIY detail. Water spot remover didn't do anything to those areas. That was 6 months. So 9 months, I noticed a couple more issues with the coating. I noticed that the black painted area around the grill, which is similar to the piano trim pieces, that the coating didn't do very well on there. It's lots of hydrophobics. Looks like there was nothing on there. Again, I used water spot remover and iron remover. Didn't bring anything back on that surface. Did a I think I did a 3 pH wash at that point. Didn't bring anything back on the surface. At that point it's failed. So notice that failure there. And then on the rear passenger side lower quarter panel, the rear lower bumper area behind the tire, which is weird. I've never had this with any other coating. It looked like it was clogged, like something had happened to that coating. I don't know what it is. Again, it's the first time I've ever experienced clogging in that manner, especially in the low areas because it doesn't snow here, and we really don't have a lot of road grime in terms of, because it wasn't a wet winter. So it just had it just looked like it was clogged, like nothing was there. So I ended up using the water spot remover again on there. I had done a full decon on there. I clayed it after an iron remover, did the whole 9 with the DIY detail clay towel. I ended up using ADS. I think I used ADS iron remover. If it wasn't ADS, it was the Geon. More likely it was probably the ADS iron remover with the DIY detail clay towel. And then I used the water spot remover. And the water spot remover after I rinsed it off, looked like it had brought the area back. So we're going to take a look and see if that still holds true, because there's been a lot of talk and a lot of debate on whether or not this is leaving a hydrophobic protectant on the surface. I don't really know. We're going to go ahead and check that out and see if that lower area is still hydrophobic, then it's not then this didn't leave anything on the surface. If it's back to where it looked like it's flat, then I think it could possibly be true that some people are having that this is leaving something on the surface. It's hard to really say. I'm not a chemist. I'm just going by what I experience on here. So that's the update to that. And so the 1 year update here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pre-foam with Primus, Lava Cosmetica Primus 2.0, and I may make a little stronger batch to see if I can get that lower area just in case on there. But I may just foam this on the surface and just go with this, let it sit there for a few minutes, rinse it off. Then I'm going to just do a bucket wash with Lava Cosmetica Purifica. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the foam cannon, foam it. I'm going to just go ahead and put this in my bucket, wash it, rinse it off, and we're going to go ahead and see how that is performing. I have the DIY detail clay towel ready just in case I need to do an iron remover. I may not do it with this wash because I just did it 3 months ago and the surface doesn't feel crunchy. But so I'm just going to go ahead and give this a quick little wash here, and then we'll see if that area is still there. And then if the area is still there, then I don't know what to say about the water spot remover here on there. Do we trust this or not? That's the thing. And again, I'm not a chemist. I can't really speak to the chemistry behind that product on here. So then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just top it off with C6 Ceramics Mist, and that's it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it ride for a couple weeks, wash it one more time. I'll probably do the decon in terms of the claying at that process, I'm gonna polish it off, polish off C6 Hydro Lite, and you guys are probably saying, why are you polishing this? Because I've already done my testing on this, real world durability, and again, we're gonna see how this does at the very end. But again, I'm gonna polish this off, and we're gonna move on to a separate paint coating. I don't know what coating I'm gonna choose. I may put up a poll, and you guys can chime in with what coating I have. I have some options here, so maybe I'll let you guys choose what. And I know I'm really not in the mood to do different coatings on the surface because I don't. It's just a harder test to do, and so I may just go ahead and I'm looking to just get one coating applied to the surface and let it ride for another year and see how that goes with that coating on the surface. So again, stay tuned. This is going to be a short, semi-short video here. I'm just going to go ahead and do the wash process off camera. I'm going to come back to the final rinse and show you the way that the coating is performing on various panels, and we'll take a look at that rear quarter panel. So let me just go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back to you guys on camera. So I'll be right back in a second. All right, welcome back everyone here. So I just finished washing the car with, so I had foamed it with the Primus 2.0, and then rinsed that off, foamed it with Purifica, and then washed with Purifica in the bucket. And so now we're going to get to the portion of rinsing some of this stuff off. So let me rotate the camera back here if I can. All right, so let's take a look at just various spots here as we rinse this off. So let's take a look at the roof. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand and one camera in here, or the camera. I guess it would have helped if I aimed the camera in the right spot. Sorry about that. But you can see it's still beating really well on the roof. You can see right here, right where the nozzle's at, you can see it's starting to have a little issue there. Just a slight, you can see that how the water just sticks in a line. So it looks good there on the roof. The other spot I forgot to tell you where it was having issues was down here. It had failed there, so let's go ahead and rinse this off. And then this has hydro glass on here, and it's still performing really good. So I'm just going to rinse this off. So I don't want the soap to kind of dry. Looks like it's starting to have a little bit of issues here on this lower panel. You can see how the water kind of sticks to it. Unlike down here, let me rinse this panel off. You can see how hydrophobic this is on the side. So yeah, this lower piece down here is having some issues. Let me just go ahead and continue rinsing stuff off as I move along. It's doing pretty good. This has actually, this mirror's had C-Quartz light on there for I think 4 months roughly in there. Pretty good. So let's take a look at some more panels. I mean, that's still doing very well on the hood here. So let's take a look at the glass coatings here for a minute. So this side has amethyst from jade. I mean, that's pretty darn good. It's doing really good. Grab the hose here. Okay, so this side has the Adams graphene glass coating. So both doing really well when you're in. I'll go ahead and finish rinsing this off. Grab the hose. It's hard to do this with one hand, guys, so just kind of bear with me as I get myself a little bit more slack here. Let me rinse this off. Okay, so the other problem area was down here. So let me grab the hose and get this, give me some more slack here. Let me rinse this. And then this piece here had D-Quartz Go topped with Gliss 2.0. And I forget when I put that on there, but it's doing really good. So you can see that it still has issues. You can see it's not as bad as it was 3 months ago at the 9-month mark, but look here. It's starting to have a little bit of issues there. So the question is, and we'll do this here on the side while I'm doing this, and we'll talk about this here in a minute. Let me take off some more stuff here. Let's take a look here. Bear with me, guys. I'm just working here one-handed. So here, let me kind of rotate this because I want to get you guys on camera as I say this. Okay. So did the DIY Detail water spot remover give me a false sense of security? As there's been videos where people have said that it's leaving some sort of protective polymer or protective agent behind, and that's what we're really seeing when we're using their water spot remover, which is this guy here. Now, I'm not the chemist, so I can't comment on whether or not that's what it's doing, but if I'm looking at what I'm seeing now, and I'm still seeing that there's issues here on this coating after doing a 2 pH wash with pre-foaming with an alkaline, then washing with an acidic wash, and I did use a pretty strong mixture in the bucket. I forget how many I think I stuck with their 1 to 100 recommendation in the bucket, and then I did 1 to 10 in the foam cannon. That's what I stuck with. So again, is the water spot remover giving me a false sense of security when I use it? Is it leaving a protective agent behind? Because there's been multiple videos stated that it is leaving something on the surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray this on here, and you'll see how it immediately beads on the surface. And this is really an interesting topic, and I'm gonna have to buy another water spot remover. So I'm talking to Nick Rudder. I just sent him a message. It's like, hey, is your coating safe on? Your water spot remover safe on coating? So we're gonna go ahead and spray this on here, and just grab a towel. I have a towel here, and I'm just gonna agitate this to work it in. On these surfaces where I started to see it have issues. You don't want to let it dry on the surface. So what I've been playing around with, yes, the surface was already wet, so it is going to dilute the water spot remover. What I've been doing is I've just been kind of misting it a little on there just to kind of let it sit there, because they do recommend to let it sit for, it says right there, allow 1 to 2 minutes to dwell, and then rinse thoroughly. If necessary, agitate the surface with a clean microfiber cloth. Repeat as necessary. So I'm using this as part of the Decon process. Again, it doesn't even feel crunchy, the painted surface. So that's why I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to go ahead and do that on there. So actually, let me put this down here. I'm just going to put this here on just to put that on there, because I want to have my hands free as we rinse this off. And we'll see that it is leaving some sort of, again, I'm not sure if it's leaving something on the surface or if you know, Ivan is right, it's exciting whatever's on the surface, but I shouldn't have to be doing this every 3 months after the initial spot. So let's rinse this off. And what you're going to notice with this water spot remover is the more you rinse it, the more it's going to remove the residue, but it's going to start behaving like a coating. Let me just look at the way that the surface, just look at the way the surface beads now. Here it probably needs another round, so let me give it another round. I need a helper. And let me just kind of work this in here. And wear gloves too, because you don't want to get this stuff on your hands. Okay, so like I said, the more you rinse it off, the more the residue comes off, and it looks like there's like the coating's back. This guy might be completely dead here. So there you go. Like I said, I don't know if it's leaving anything on the surface, because you can see that it just beads really well. Here it looks like it did, the coating may be gone for good. Yeah, I just don't really know. I hit it one more. Should we hit it one more time and let it sit a little longer? Again, the water is diluting it, so that can be it. You can just let it sit there for a second, and then while I'm at it, see if I have enough slack. I don't think I have enough slack to get this, but we'll spray this guy because it was looking a little weak. And then we'll just let this sit here for a second or just a couple minutes. Again, it's you know, are we getting a false sense of security with this water spot removers is the question. Okay, so let me kind of get this back on center here. Can't hard to do this with one hand. That looks really good on the side though, right? So that looks like it's complete coating failure right in that spot right here and down here. But over here, I mean, it's looks like it's revived or whatnot. So again, I'm not really sure if this water spot remover is leaving protection behind. I honestly, again, I'm not the chemist. Let's rinse this lower piece over here. Ugh. I got stuck underneath the tire over there. So it looks pretty good. I mean, looks like there's a little spot right smack there. I'll hit it again. Like I said, the water is diluting some of it on the surface, but I mean, it's really hard to say if the coating's dead. I'm not gonna let that sit very long. Okay, so I think that's enough playing around with it, but you can see that this coating is doing very well. Let me put this down the cart there. You can see it's doing really well. Again, one of the most hydrophobic coatings on the market. You can see it's holding up really well on certain surfaces. Again, it's a really nice product here. And actually, before I do that, let me put you down for a minute or for a second here. Because what I want to do is I want to showcase the sheeting properties of this. Let me go turn off the pressure washer as we're walking away here. Okay, so in order for me to use this nozzle in the proper way, and I mean the shower nozzle here, is turn off your pressure washer. Get this water spout remover out of the way. And what you're going to do is you're going to just angle this the proper way. And I've removed a majority of the water. Again, you just got to play around with the angle here. And you can see that now the surface is almost completely dry. Certain edges here, like if I hit this edge right here in the wrong angle, it may add, you can see the way I did it, I didn't do a good job. But I could just do it like this and push it forward. And I could do the same thing with vertical panels. And what I'm doing is I'm flooding the surface, getting as much water off the surface, because if I left those gigantic beads on the surface, like if I leave those gigantic beads on there, and I'm kind of in the sun right now, I'd end up with water spots, right? Unless you have a DI system, which I don't have. Again, I'm not using pressure washer that often, but you can see, just sheet rinsing is very nice from this coating, just playing around with it. So there you have it, guys. I just want to give you guys a quick little look at this last update here. I'm going to put everything down for a second. And we're going to talk about C6 Hydro Lite. Let me go get the bottle here from the garage. Actually, I'll probably just do this in the garage here. I'm going to see if I can find my C6 app polish in here, because I don't know where it's at. Here it is. Okay. So let's do final thoughts on this here for a minute on C6 Hydro Lite. Okay, because I gave you guys quite a bit to talk about here. I didn't want to make this video longer than I had to. So let's talk about the glass coatings first. So we saw Amethyst and Adams 1 year in. These coatings are doing great. Very user-friendly coatings. On occasion, you'll find Adams on sale for like 30% off, so it's like really cheap. And I'm not really sure if this is more of a sealant or an actual coating. So last time I was listening to one of the Adams live, they really came off as saying this is more like a sealant. Again, I'm going to have to ask Chris Gallagher about that as well, and whether or not the same is for Amethyst here, if it's more of a glass sealant versus a glass coating. But this one says ceramic coating on the bottle, so I'm going to go with that on there. But again, both of them did really good. a year in, and they're still performing really well on there. So let's talk about C6 Hydro Lite and whether or not it's worthwhile to spend your hard-earned money to not only buy this, but to buy this, because I forget how much this is, $30-$40 maybe for this, and because you're not going to be using a whole lot. If this is just a personal vehicle, you're not going to be using a whole lot of C6 app polish, and you're going to be using about half the bottle of C6 Hydro Lite. So I mean, is it really worth the $340, $350, whatever it may be? I'll post the link here as how much it cost on there. Yes, I was sent app polish for free. Yes, I was sent Hydro Lite for free, so I didn't really come out of my pocket, although I did buy an extra bottle of this, and I actually did sell it off to somebody else, another user of it. So again, is it really worth this? Again, even though I was sent these products by DIY a year ago, the opinions, the data I'm showing you is all me. I'm not influenced by them to say, hey, make our products look good. I'm just sharing my journey with this coating, so I'm trying to get through. So that's my journey with C6 Hydro Lite now. So again, is it really worth it? With the amount of issues I'm seeing with the coating, I don't think it's worth it. You know, the technology sounds great with nano diamond or detonated nano diamond technology or nano diamond technology. It's very intriguing, and there's a couple brands that have gone that route here. Again, I don't know if it's the next evolution of a coating, but what I can say, the aspect I like about Hydro Lite is its ease of use, and its hydrophobic performance is top notch. What I'm struggling with is its durability. It just doesn't seem like it's a very durable coating. A year in, you've seen multiple places that it's failed on there. So it's constantly, I shouldn't say constantly, but it is going to need a topper every so often. Again, I know that this is stated, or that their coatings, they state that it's permanent. Nothing's permanent in this world. It's a semi-permanent form of protection. You and I are semi-permanent in this world. So kind of keep that in general. There is no permanent protection for your vehicle. PPF is kind of even semi-permanent because it will yellow over time or degrade over time. So again, I don't think it's worth the $300. I would like to see the price come down. I would say this coating, I don't know how much their 8-year coating cost. I would like to see pretty much all their coatings come down in cost a bit, but I think that this coating should be more in the $150 range, not $300 range. I think that's just a bit too much because now you have to invest in the app polish, which is another added cost. So I would like to see the price come down to their 8-year, 5-year, and their 3-year come down just a bit. I think they can be more competitive with other coatings, because I can go and buy C-Quartz UK for like just under $60 and it'll perform, based on my experience, perform better than Hydro Lite. I can go buy a bottle of Armored Supply Quartz, which I think is $79.99, I believe. It's a 30 ml bottle. It performs better than this. So I'm just putting it out there that I think this coating has got some. Take my feedback for the guys over at C6. Maybe tweak the formula to be a bit more durable, but I am just showcasing or sharing my journey with this coating, and then again, I just don't think it's worth a $300 investment or $300 plus investment for a coating that's going to have struggle as often as what I've seen it struggle. And I'm in Southern California. I don't even get snow. I barely had rain all season. It was mostly dry conditions. Again, we did get rain here and there, but I don't get snow. So for those of you that deal with harsh weather conditions, I would imagine that this coating would struggle even more in those type of environments. So that's just my take on it. I know you guys are probably saying, yeah, go out and buy this coating. I'm going to tell you to just save your money, spend that $300 elsewhere. You can buy other coatings that perform better than this. Again, your money will go a lot further. Again, you can always stick with the top name brands of a Geon, a CarPro, or a G-Technic. And again, they've been doing coatings for a very long time, so they know what they're doing. Again, Armored Supply Quartz has their quartz coating, or Armored Supply has their quartz coating, which is really good. And it performs, again, I think it performs better than this. It was on the car previously before this. I think it performs better than that. Yeah, so, I mean, there's better coatings out there for your money. So I would actually, again, if you're really interested in trying this, pick up a bottle. The thing is, you're going to be spending a lot of your money on this, unless they have a 25% off style sale and it brings it down. It is going to still cost you quite a bit. So, because you're going to have to pick up the C6 app polish. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would purchase Hydro Lite. For those of you who've tried Hydro Lite, would you purchase it again? Do you see yourself using it again? I don't see myself using this unless they tweak the formula a bit more to be a bit more durable. So that's just my take on it. I tried it out for a year. I want to thank the guys over at DIY Detail for sending these products out for me to test a year ago. And thanks for watching, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit this with C6 Mist, and we're going to go from there. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Put your comments down below. Oh, let me know what you guys think of the water smart remover. Is it leaving something on the surface? Is it not? I really don't know, because I had some inconsistencies here. 3 months ago I had to use it. 3 months later I had to use it again. You can see it kind of looks like it unclogs the coating, but then you see in one spot it didn't do anything for it. So again, is it really doing anything? I really don't know. I'll be trying other water smart removers too, and kind of just see how they perform on other coatings. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next one. Take care, everyone. And don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that good stuff if you choose to do so. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Catch you next one.